I think Cardoso is falling to the trap of destroying Sundowns. That was feared and transformed into average team. He has destroyed Sundowns' identity, attacking fluid style that made Sundowns play exciting game and also exciting ball. Now I don't grasp Sundowns football players and enjoying football like before. They struggle for rhythm and creativity. Sundowns seek redemption, while Chief eye statement in the league. The dynamics here are including Sundowns still reeling from their defeat from Orlando Pirates through MTN 8 and still fall through the hand of another Soweto giant, Kaizer Chiefs, who have started the league in the impressive form. For Sundowns, the equation is simple: bounce back with a win for especially Miguel Cardoso after that criticism of losing against Orlando Pirates. 3 points will restore some hope among the supporters of Mamelodi Sundowns. For Kaizer Chiefs, it's about keeping momentum, making 4 wins of 4 games. But on paper, Sundowns should be Chiefs' next test to date. The victory over Stellenbosch looked good, but given Chiefs' near-perfect record against them, it didn't hold much weight as a test. Chiefs won only 6 points against Stellenbosch last season and have in fact claimed 7 of the last 8 meetings, including this season opener. That's why the match faced Stellenbosch despite their quality player, the role of breaking the jinx than genuine environment. This feature is different. Chiefs now face a Sundowns side that has dominated them in the league for 3 consecutive seasons. Breaking that record would be a true measure of their progress. So if Chiefs lose, it shouldn't be dismissed as evidence that their bright start is a fluke. Likewise, if they win, it shouldn't be watered down as beating supposedly weak Sundowns side. The midfield backline will be fascinating. Chiefs are still searching for balance in that area. Combinations have been chopped and changed regularly, often tweaking at halftime, pointing at trial and error progress. Some experimentation is expected in the early stages of a season, but the question is there whether they have finally found their nest. For their midfielder mates, a likely pairing of Thabo Cele and Sibongiseni Oxented will be a task with holding their own against Sundowns double pivot of Mokoena and Allende. Outwith, Lelepo have been Chiefs' main source of vitality and of a product, whether he's starting on the left against Zuko Mdunyelwa, who has impressed in Mudau's absence, or on the right against Mudiba or Lunga. His duel will be pivotal. Chiefs will also look to Duduze Shabalala and Gaston Sirenes. Their creative sparks both excel in folding pockets between the lines and giving Chiefs vertically direction. For Sundowns side, Terh Matthews, who leads the lenses in chances, creating and assists, will be okay. His creativity and ability to dictate in the final third make him their like he's the source of infection of finally Brett Peterson, goalkeeper, which remains unbreached this season. Upfront Rainer's relentless runs will be a test from Kaizer Chiefs' defensive organization. The match between Hakim Munyana and Taris Matthews could be a decisive. Hakimi's defensive resolve will be tested, but his explosive counter-attack just has easily turned the game in Chiefs' favor. Rainer's intelligent movement also adds another dimension that could stretch backline. Expect Sundowns to dominate the position, while Chiefs look to strike with pace and precision. Intersection through Lelepo and Pulemoti, and also to loving the tempo and intensity of this match. Very high paced. Kaizer Chiefs has been sharp with their pressing pattern and Kriegers quickly getting men behind the ball. They are not allowing Sundowns balls carriers time or freedom, forcing them into a rush of their negligible decision. Chiefs then capitalize on those turnovers to launch their own attacks. It's a smart game plan. Sundowns usually thrive on a slow, methodically build up that gives them composure in position, but Chiefs' press is deliberately disrupt that rhythm of Sundowns. Towards the end of the halftime, Sundowns began finding some joy, scratching together better sequence. Other souls have stood out as their creativity, fulcrum, and great contest with a nice tempo, and both sides put in a tireless, relentless shift. It may have lacked goals this match, but nobody will be disappointed with the quality of the football on the display. This was one of these games that truly could have gone either way. The individual duels were fascinating, especially in midfield. Ox stood up for Chiefs with strong interception and dominance in ground duels. For Sundowns, Marcelo Allende came alive in the second half. Everything flowed through him. He was the metronome, giving structure to their attacking moves. Lillepo's pace, triggered and dimension proved a contest headache for Basadine, while Atasolsi delivered a dazzling half performance, repeatedly being the source of Sundowns' finally penetrating passes, while Quinica was solid, putting in a committable shift and effectively notifying Rainer's superb as well, displaying his usual industry and reliability. He deliberately delivered. Sereno, known for his mostly on-impact sub this season, could be unleashed from the shot against his former club. Multifunctional performance, contributing effectively at both ends of a pitch. Chiefs defense is likely compact and disciplined, successfully managing Sundowns' attacking threat. That said, it was also a match where both teams would quickly lament players who were missing. Sundowns will feel that way about Matthews and Adams, while Chiefs will have the same concern about Tabokele and Duduze Shabala, who offer a little bit on the match day. But one thing I love about this season, is this season league personal, everything. Everyone is locked in. The stadiums are full each and every match. I'm a coach Africa, I'm orange after the game. Players wanna leave the club. Teams are signing, teams are selling. Some win their first few games and are in a good position on the table. Some lose their first games but they are about to play a final. But one thing I love being a South African football fan. One thing I also think about this season is gonna be interesting season. And I would love to focus on the play of Kaizer, the center back of Mamelodi. I think many people are sleeping on Kaizer and are not understanding, but if you can differentiate what he has played, Kaizer's technical quality is unquestionable, and that's the aspect of his game. Mostly as told in the modern era, his comfortability on the ball and capable of limitation attacking from the back, were crispy, progressive passing. He can switch between short passes to maintain position and longer balls to exploit spaces behind opposition. However, his defensive game leaves something to be desired. His aggressiveness in duels to be desired is limited. He isn't a dominant in aerial balls or ground battles, isn't a tenacious take, and doesn't press aggressively for someone of his height. Physically present isn't a core aspect of his game, which is a slight drawback for a traditional centre back role. Given this, I think he might be best utilized as a half-back or a false six, who drop between centre-backs to form a backline three, similar to the role he thrived during the chain team. His pillar, the approach of players like Xavi Alonso and Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Alternatively, he could operate as a registered in the mold and also play like a Sergio Busquets, focus primarily on protecting the defense through positional awareness while dictating tempo and orchestrating play from deep rather than engaging aggressively duels. This would allow his technical and distribution strength to define his contribution while minimizing the physical defense responsibilities that earn his national fortune of a play. I saw a viral post mocking Siyabonga Mabena against Kaizer Chiefs. It reads something close like the lines of Saka Sabasiwa Kadolo, loosely meaning they were triggered into believing he's this frightening talent with immense potential. But my response, that's not quite true, and as I've pointed out before, Mabena, just like any younger star, any younger player, his age cannot yet be relied upon to win matches consistently through sheer individual brilliance, impact or contribution. Ty doesn't yet possess the maturity of the finished product in his game to be that difference maker week in and week out. He only needs to be consistent. That's not any indictment on his talent, it's simply a reflection of development, and development isn't linear. Players mature at different rates even if they have come through the same pathways and at the same pace. For example, some break into first team earlier like other players, likes of Mufukeng and Bogas. But Mabena is undoubtedly a player of immense potential, but he still lacked refinement in key areas, polish in his decision making, patient in position, and the composure to pick his moments. Too often he relies on raw instinct to take players on and drive into crowded areas when the smarter option would have been a quickly combination. Forbid the Hay once made a similar observation about a younger Tulani Serrano. He described him as an uncut gem, raw, explosive, able to beat defenders at will, but not always knowing when or how to apply those gifts with time and guidance. Serrano learned to channel his gassy favor football into a polished, effective package, but Mabena is in a similar pace. At this level, flashes of brilliance are not enough. Consistently is the ultimately currently, but for now, Mabena can light up moment, but sustaining that productivity over a season will require patient coaching and the right structure around him. With those conditions, he can absolutely grow into a special player. The competition with his peers like Relemo Fuken or Mbogas are unfair. Not every youngster is going to explode into consistent form at the same time. Even Fundo Vilakazi, Langelihle Pili came into those centenary games and also likes of Shabalala, and still finding their rhythm. Pesitao, Saleng and Lodge all need a multiple season before delivering at the elite reliable and also in their best level. But Mabena is simply at the beginning of that journey, but he needs pragmatic minutes, space to grow, and the right match dynamics to bring out his qualities. For now, he's not yet the kind of a player who can tilt a game on his own, especially in high pressure, CAF Champions League or decisive rivalries. He can ride the wave of momentum, but he yet the one to flip it, and they must also be fair. He's navigating this while the team is in transition under a belated coach and any unsettling environment. Bagley, the ideal space for any youngster still trying to establish himself. The tools are there, talent also are there, but potential, technical quality, what missing in time, refinement, and the maturity that only experience provides. If he's afforded pragmatic minutes this season and matured correctly in a year or two, Mabela could very well grow into decisive match winner, and people will start chanting his name.
But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
F.O.S. eat, just for step on niggas. I know F.O.S. eat, just for step on niggas.